Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Before starting my video, if you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please do, and do not forget to turn on notifications as I'm here every day for you. Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how we can create and use filters in ASP.NET Core. First of all, let's go through with how many filters we have. Then I'm going to make my preparation for our examples. Alright. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna do an explanation. Directly, I'm gonna do the preparation and I'm going to explain while I was creating our project. Okay. First of all, I'm going to create a new controller for test purpose. Add controller. Add a new controller. Okay, let's give a name. Let's give a test, or let's say filter test controller. Alright, let's leave it like that for a second. Now I'm going to create my filters. Do not worry about it. I'm going to make explanation. Let's create here a folder. Let's say filters. Let's add new class. The first filter is authorization filter. I'm going to give authorization filter at. You can give any name you want, by the way. Let me fix the name filter. Let's fix here as well. Perfect. Okay. To create an authorization filter, all you need to do, use inheritance from authorization filter and then implement interfaces. Alright, what is that then? This method comes from authorization filter, and before executing our actions and all of the other actions, this authorization filter triggered, initialized basically. And you can do any how can I say, any method action here, but for best practice you need to use just for authorization purposes process. Okay, so I'm just going to, let's keep it throw new, or let's delete it. I'm going to just add a console text for test purposes after I finalized how it's working and what is the order of our filters. I'm going to switch those console write line method to a real life basic process. Okay, now let's say I am coming from authorization filter. Perfect. Alright, authorization filter class has been created. Let's continue the next one. Now I'm going to create resource filter at, same as authorization filter, we're going to add our interface, which is resource filter. Let's add our implements. Oops, control dot. Alright. In this time, we have two different methods: on resource executed and on resource executing. What does that mean? After authorization filter initialized and our logic run and finalized this filter, then our resource filter initialized. Which one? Obviously, executing one will be initialized. When executed one initialized, if you ask me, this is going to be after execution, after our action method executed, we're going to have um, we're going to see this on resource executed method in its initialization. Okay, all right. Let's type here. I'm going to copy and paste. Once I trigger my all filters, you will understand exact order. Okay, I'm coming from resource executing filter. All right. Let's copy and paste executed filter. Next one, I'm going to create an action method. Sorry, action filter. Action filter. Implement interface. Same as a result filter. We have one method before the action and after the action executed. All right. Let's copy and paste. What's happening in IntelliSense? Uh, I hate you sometimes, yeah? Let's delete all of them. Alright. I'm coming from action executing. No, executed. And action executing. Perfect. Next one, let's add our exception filter add. Exception. Alright guys, if we have any exception in our action, this filter automatically catch the exception and allow you to manipulate this exception. You can throw an exception, you can send a meaningful message, or it's up to you. You can do whatever you want. All right. Let's implement our interface. This is on exception. It means only it is going to be triggered only if we have any exception. All right. Let's say I'm coming from exception filter. All right. Now I'm going to add last filter, which is result filter. This is a little bit different. Before adding my result filter, let's go back our controller, filter test controller. As you can see, we have an iAction result method here. Once we create our iAction result, we are returning our view. Once we try to return our view, result filter make an interruption between the result and the end of our action method. We can catch everything what we need in this interruption, and we can manipulate our view result, and after we render our view result, we can be able to manipulate one more time thanks to result filter. Okay, now you're going to understand we have on executing and executed again. Result, oops, result filter. Let's implement interface. Yep, as you can see, we have executed and executing filters for result. Yep, result and executing. Perfect. I created all of filters. Now all we need to do is register all of them to our program CS file. How we can do this? Obviously we're going to use our container, service container. We're going to add those our service containers. Builder, services, add scope, exception filter, exception filter, add. Yep. Now it is ready to use. I'm going to copy paste all of them. All I need to change resource. The other one is action. What was the other one? Result and authorization. Authorization, not session. Okay, all right. We add our filters to our container, service container. Now we're going to apply those filters to our action. Okay, let's come to our action. By the way, if you add your filter, which is we using service filter attribute, and we're going to give our, for example, authorization. Where is my filter? Yeah, here we go. That's all. If you add top of your class, this filter will be available for all action methods in your controller. But if you add just only one action, this is just for available for assigned action. Alright. Now I'm going to copy and paste all of them for the other ones, because I'm going to add all of them to one action result, and I'm going to show what is the order of process. Okay, let's change it, and I'm going to make the order mixed, so it doesn't matter which one is first written, which one is last written. All of them has own priority while they are initializing. Okay, let's say exception filter. The second one is, let's say this is result, and the third one is action, resource, and authorization. Perfect. All right. Let's add a breakpoint here. I would like to add my filters for my breakpoint for my filters as well. Let's add all of them, because we're going to see the order. It is really important to understand everything about filters. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think all of them is ready. Okay, all of them is ready. Now I'm going to run my application. Oh, we forgot to add our uh, HTML page, CSS HTML page. Let's stop it. I'm going to add my view. It's going to be a razor view. Let's add, because our result filter works just before rendering our view and just after. So we need to put a breakpoint in our view. It is going to help us to understand everything. Okay, let's add console right line. I'm not trying to teach you how I'm typing C# code in my CSS file, because we already finalized these lessons. If you wonder how it's possible, you can go back my playlist and you can find result page or CSS file videos. Okay, all right. Let's add I am in the view. Okay, perfect. Let's now run the application. Let's add a breakpoint as well. Okay, let's add breakpoint as well. Perfect. All right. Now I'm going to put my page top of my screen. Let's edit. And the third one is going to be my console. All right. Let's open our. It doesn't matter. Let's do our request. What is the name of test? Um, filter. I guess test filter. Index, right? Let's enter. Okay. This is the wrong name, I guess. Filter test. Alright, it's my bad, guys. Sorry about that. Let's type filter test slash index. Here we go. Authorization filter is initialized, as you can see. This is the first filter initialized. If you add all of them, this is the first one. Okay, let's continue with F10. As you can see, I'm coming from authorization filter is initialized. Let's continue. As you can see, the second one is resource filter, which is executing one. Let's continue. I'm coming from resource executing filter. I'm I'm still continue. Okay. Action filter triggered, which is executing one again. Let's continue. We are finally in our action. So it means if you add your filters to your action, the initialization order is authorization, resource executing, action executing. All right, and we are using authorization for authorization based logics for our action or class. It's up to you all scenario. Okay. If it comes to using resource executing filter, you can do caching, logging, um, logics in your resource execution filter. And when it comes to action executing filter, you can um, create a specific logics related to your action. We will do um, examples for each filters. Do not worry about them. Let's continue. Let's continue. Our action is run. Now we come back action filter add again with executed one. I'm coming from action executed filter. Perfect. By the way, I forgot the tab here, action run. Let's stop the application first. And I'm going to add here console write line because it's really important to understand correctly and how can I say easily. Action is running. Alright, let's run the application again. Is it working? Okay, it's working. Let's put this on top of the screen. Bring it here, bring it here. Okay, I'm gonna make it everything a little bit quick right now. Direct to the action. Filters. Is that filter test, right? Filter test index. Perfect. Alright, let's F10, F10, F10. Authorization, resource executing, action executing. Here we go. Action is running. Let's continue. Action executed filter. So what is that for? You can create a logic which is able to work, which can work just before the action and just after the action. All right, let's continue. What's gonna happen after action executed filter? We are in result filter. Okay, result executing. What is that result executing? Now we created our result and it is about to rendering it. Okay, now hopefully we will direct it to our view CSHTML file. Okay, let's continue. Here we go. We are in our CSHTML file. I'm in the view. Now we are directed to result executed. It means result filter is working just before the view and just after the view render. All right, perfect. Let's continue. Now we come back our resource filter. It means it is work like a middleware, right? Resource execution result. The logic is basic. Here we go. We are here. Executed context. Okay. I'm coming from resource executed filter. So it is really great if you're using logging and caching for resource execution filter, because the very beginning and the very end filter in our action, except authorization filter, which is we are only using for authorization purposes logic. All right, let's continue, and it is finalized. Perfect. But if you noticed, we didn't initialize exception filter. Why we couldn't see it? Because we don't have an exception. Let's try to add an exception in our action, and let's see what kind of result we're going to have. All right, let's go our filter test controller, and I'm going to add here throw new exception. Oops, error here. All right, perfect. Now let's stop the application and run again quickly. Perfect. Let's send our filter test index. As usual, authorization filter initialized, then resource executing, then action executing. Now we're going to get our exception. As you can see, we get our exception. Let's continue. Action filter. Is the action filter execute? Yep. Action filter will be completed because we are still in our action. Okay, let's continue. Action executor filter is completed, but we are catched by exception filter. So it is not continue with result filter. So we couldn't render any data for user. We couldn't return our view, so we're not able to reach result filter. So this is making a short circuit from just after our action executed filter. Let's continue. Here you go. I'm coming from exception filter. Then we will continue with resource filter. So as I told you before, it is a really good place to add your loggings. Even if you get exception, resource filter will be initialized. Perfect. Basically, you understand what is the filters and what is the triggering order those filters. To make you much more understand, I found a picture on the internet I would like to share with you. I'm not gonna read all of them. This is the schema, the order schema, just what we did together. You can have a look here, read the text and everything, and it makes much more clarify in your mind maybe. All right, I'm going to finish this lesson here. It's been, I guess, already more than 20 minutes. Next lesson we will continue with filters, and I'm going to give you much more real world examples, and you will better understand if you watch the other video. Alright guys, if you have any question, please do not hesitate, drop comment below the video, and if you crush the like button, I will really appreciate it. It really motivates me to create new videos. Take care of yourself. See you on next lesson. Bye bye.